Welcome to another episode of Catching Up with J&K.
Yay!
In this episode, we are going to talk about self-love.
I'm hugging myself as
This topic we both felt is very important to share and discuss, especially now during the times of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, self-love is not only the practices and the activities that you do to feel any type of self-worth, but also actually believing it.
Yeah.
Because for me, there are times where I'm practicing all these things and I do a lot of self-care to make me feel worthy, but then in the back of my mind, I don't believe it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's kind of where the definition, like, it's not just practicing and doing all of these things. Mm-hmm. You actually have to truly believe that you are worthy or that you do really love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so recently I have been learning how to chill. Mm-hmm. So that for me is not only the practice of self-love, but actually believing that I deserve to relax. Mm-hmm. Like I deserve to just sit down and read a book that I want to read or watch the show or binge these series or whatever and not feel guilty about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel the complete opposite.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not completely, but definitely I am someone that believes that you need to practice self-love. And that for me helps me mentally think, okay, well, I'm doing this because I care about myself, because I want to care about myself. Mm-hmm. And so the things that I do involve self-care. So I love nourishing my body, eating well, eating clean. If I have something oily in the morning, in the evening I like to have a salad to even it out. Okay. I like fiber. Yeah. Give me fibrous fruits and veggies. Mm-hmm. So that's taking care of my nutrition, participating in physical activities. So I have always been physically active. Mm-hmm. So in middle school, I was in soccer for a little while. I didn't like soccer, but I was in soccer for a little while. I did softball in middle and high school. I wasn't great at it, but I loved moving my body. Mm-hmm. I was also in dance class, which is where I met you. I was in karate, and then when I went to college, I stopped doing that, and I felt down because I was like, wow, I'm not really taking care of myself physically. And I tried out for the cheerleading team.
Oh, wow.
And the dance team, and I did it. I wasn't recruited for both. So, that was hard on my self-esteem. But then I thought, okay, if I can't do those things, I need to start working out. So I would go to the gym. And then after graduating college, I'm just giving you a grocery list of physical activities that I did. But after college, I would work, and I wasn't doing anything after work. So when I came home, I would start to feel depressed. Mm-hmm. And I hate to use that term loosely because I know it shouldn't, but that's just how I felt. I felt down. And I told myself, it's because you're not moving your body and you love doing that. That's how you take care of yourself. And so then I started to look up classes. I did rowing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was going back to the gym. I started doing bar. And that's what's kept me in check. And because I did those physical activities, I would be exhausted by the end of the day, and I would get proper sleep at night. And I would be ready for the next day, you know? And having that routine for me was me telling myself, okay, this is you taking care of your body. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and when I'm not physically moving and I feel down. Yeah. So that's one of the things I did to practice self-care. I also needed to forgive myself and learn from my mistakes, and then try to do my best to not repeat those mistakes. Mm-hmm. And to live intentionally. I am trying my best to live a life with purpose and design. I had this girl at work tell me to take agency of my life. Mm-hmm. And ever since she said the word agency, I thought, yeah, I need to be my own agent of my own life and need to create a path for myself where I know that the decisions support my intentions. So, for instance, well, we can talk about relationships. I'm in a relationship with Brian, and when I went in the beginning, when I was, going over to his house a little more often, his mom sort of she loosely and very jokingly mentioned marriage, and Brian was sort of embarrassed. Sorry, Brian, if you don't like me telling the story, oops. But she didn't really he was embarrassed that she brought up marriage so soon, and I said, no, it's okay, in front of him and in front of his mom. I was like, no, it's okay. I'm dating you intentionally. The purpose of me being here so that I can get to know your family and for marriage, because that's what I want. And so, and when you do these things, in my opinion, and you see these small successes in your life, you feel or see, you start to reap what you sow. And so by working out, my body feels good. I'm getting better sleep. When I forgive myself, I'm not holding grudges. I'm not holding resentment towards other people and then towards myself. When I'm being intentional, I'm not, I'm having more direction in my life. And I see these as rewards.
Wow, that's awesome.
But the downside to all of this is that I'm not feeling that way as of lately. Yeah. Since the beginning of COVID. And that's the hard truth.
It is so hard. I totally get you. Ever since March of this year, the uncertainty of this whole situation has been very dizzying at times. Yeah. And it's really, for me, it tarnishes my mental health. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel that way.
I do.
Yeah. It's so hard to feel motivated and living with intention when the world is kind of crashing. Yeah. And where a lot of things are closed.
And you're confined.
Exactly.
In your own home.
And then for people who still have a job, it's hard to see a career moving forward because of everything that's going on. And people who lost a job, maybe they have to start all over. But I totally think that self-love is something that we need now more than ever.
Yeah, it has been extremely difficult for me to express or practice self-love during these difficult times because, like I said, I enjoyed participating in physical activity, but I'm not someone that likes to go out for a walk on my own in my neighborhood. I don't like doing that. I don't like going out for runs. I would rather take a class and be surrounded by other people. I like a little bit of competition. And the fact that I can't go to a gym, I can't go to a workout class really puts a down on myself, on me, because I would rather go somewhere physically than take a virtual workout class. Yeah. And because I'm not doing those things, because I'm not moving my body, I feel like I'm not loving myself. And my body is telling me the same. Yeah. My back hurts now more because I'm just not moving. I'm mostly sitting or lying down. And so, yeah, it has been really difficult for me.
And it's okay to feel those things. After you've felt it and after you've let it sink in, I feel like then it's what can we do to move forward from here? So you don't like taking classes online, maybe get a workout buddy, or maybe us together, we could run. I mean, I know you don't like running.
I don't like running.
Maybe we could do yoga at the park together or something like that. You know what I mean? There are other ways. It's good to feel it, but then self-love is also taking action to move forward from that situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's probably a better way of phrasing that.
There's a way to manifest self-love. Yeah. And although I'm not going out and working out or taking classes, something that I do enjoy doing is going out to I'm very fortunate. Let me start by saying that I'm very fortunate that I have a family garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take a few minutes to go to that garden and harvest vegetables.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that so much.
And then I share it on my Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She has the green thumb, y'all.
Oh, no. It's all my dad, but I love picking the fruits and veggies of my father's labor.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to make an effort to get out. It also helps with getting some vitamin C. The only downside is that we have so many mosquitoes, but that's just me finding a Debbie Downer to the situation.
For me, I mean, I don't go out in my backyard. My mom has a bunch of flowers, but the mosquitoes and stuff, that for me is not self-love. I'm torturing myself by going out there. Just kidding. Love your plants, Mom. But for me, what I'm really trying to work on in terms of self-love is actually feel what I'm feeling. Because in the past, I do not acknowledge any of this stuff. I literally put a wall up. If something's bothering me, I really bury it. I always think, like, who am I to complain? Like, I have a home. I have both my parents still living. I still live with my parents, so that's rent-free. I live with my brother, so I'm not bored. Like, I really don't have anything to complain about. And that's what makes it so hard for me to practice self-love, because not that I don't deserve it and not that I don't have a right to complain, but I really feel like that. Like, there are times where I truly believe, like, okay, why am I even complaining? There are people out there who don't have jobs. There are people out there who, like, don't have food, who, you know, don't have the basic needs. And yet I'm sitting in my comfortable house with a bed and have a dog and I have food. You know, like, it's really hard for me to not think like that. And I don't normally talk about these things to other people. Like,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, when we have really deep conversations, I feel like, I just feel like I don't really have a right to complain about, or I don't, man, I don't know. It's so hard to even explain. It's so hard to, like, put it into words. But it's definitely something that I'm working on, and I feel like I needed to feel this now, especially in the times of COVID, so that I can just move forward from here. Because before I was never chilling. I didn't know what chilling was. Like, every day, 24/7, there was something going on where I felt like my life was just moving fast and I need to keep up, or that someone's out there working hard, or I think I'm working hard, but there's someone out there who's working harder than me, so I need to keep up, or something like that. So I could never really stop and think about this whole self-love thing until COVID, when everything's literally shut down. And it sucks that I have to realize it during this whole pandemic. You know?
I feel like a lot of people are. A lot of people are coming to terms with the word relax, slow down, and calm down.
Yeah, and self-love. Like, honestly, like, this sounds so bad, but I just thought it was like a whole hoax before this. It's like, what the hell is that? Like, self-love, I mean, come on, y'all. Like, let's go. Let's I mean, it's
interesting.
Yeah, I cannot believe I thought about that, or thought like that before.
Yeah.
And then even me saying it now, like, you even said, like, forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Like, me saying that statement, like, I can't believe I thought like that. Like, I'm beating myself up for thinking so closed-mindedly before, when really, okay, I thought about it, I used to think like that, and now I don't. Let's go. Let's move forward. Yeah. But then, am I feeling it, or am I extinguishing it? You know what I mean? Like, and then how long do I feel it? Like, there are times, like, in June, the entire month of June, didn't do anything, sat in my bed. That's probably where I gained, like, the most weight. I was eating so unhealthy. I definitely was not exercising. But for me, is that self-love, because I'm feeling it? How long do I feel it for? And I'm eating whatever I want without feeling shameful of my body or what I'm putting into my body.
That's deep, Jonah.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of, I mean, I feel like it's also balance at the same time, because when does self-love turn into conceitedness or vanity?
Ooh.
You know, like, I mean, there's just, I feel like this topic is so heavy, but I'm glad we're talking about it, because until someone brought it up to talk about this, I would never have even thought about it. I would never have thought to talk about it with you, because I don't ever think about this, which is really bad. Like, people need to love themselves.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because I just started doing that now, and I feel good. You know, like, before I thought I felt good, but that was just another wall up.
Wow.
It's just like, you know how you mentioned temporary happiness?
Yeah.
That was totally me. Just temporary happiness. Like, oh, I felt really good about this audition. And then, you know...
But that's fine, I think. In my opinion, I think it's fine, because you can't be happy all the time. You need a balance of ups and downs.
That's right, agree.
What is it? Like, troughs and, oh goodness, like, what's the economy term? But but you need the balance.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be happy all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And, like, with every positive, there's a negative. And with every negative, there's a positive. And... that's something that I'm also trying to figure out now, because I feel like before there was so much to be happy about, and I could see it, and then I just faked it. It's like, oh, I'm so happy about the food that I have on my table, but then, like, I should be totally grateful for this, but really, I don't like what I'm eating. I'm just eating it because my parents put it, or they cooked it, or it's not something that I, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I noticed it about you a little bit, especially with the food.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going out to eat. Let's, like, I can tell that you see that you need to be grateful about it, but you're not really satisfied.
Yes.
Your heart isn't full.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that has been my entire life. Like, I am so grateful, but I cannot see what I really want. Like, I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful that I had, like, a side gig, and I was able to do that for a long time to help pay off student loans. But I hated the job. But I kept telling myself that I freaking was so grateful that I could put money on the table, or food on the table. I could pay off these things that I really shouldn't complain.
Aww.
I know. And doesn't that suck?
It does suck.
But why?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm, like, kind of going off now. Like, why are we conditioned to think like that? I mean, I feel like it just has to be a balance. Like, I have to realize when, because I've been in this rut before. Like, now that we're talking about work, I was at a job for, like, 2 or 3 years, and I hated it so much. Like, and I've been at so many jobs like that, where every day I hated going to work. Every day I freaking wanted to call out, or I just wanted to make up a story to get out of work, or to get out of even physically being there. But I always told myself, like, you know, I should be grateful that I have some income. I should be grateful that I can even complain about these things. Like, that I just feel like that's also a sense of privilege.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, now that we're talking about it, like, it's such a privileged thing for me to complain about, when other people out there don't have that, who don't even have that privilege, who you know, whatever the situation is. But I deserve to feel that, but then also be happy about work. Like, I should go to a job where I really like what I'm doing, and I love it so much that I don't feel like it's work. You know?
Immediately, I just thought, fake it till you make it. And I guess you fake it until you get enough leverage to make it.
And then I think maybe this also comes, I'm going to say this loosely, because I know a lot of people have different experiences, but children of immigrants, I feel like, have a very different mentality. For me, I'm going to talk about my personal experience. Like, I always have to be grateful. Like, you know, like, just thinking about my parents' struggles coming here. It's like, whoa, okay, why am I complaining when my parents went through this and that? There's this quote that my brother shared on Instagram, and it's from the Instagram account at @a_nurturing_village. And it says, "Dear child of immigrants, it is not your responsibility to make your parents' sacrifices, quote, worth it. Their sacrifices will never be in vain when they are for you. You living your life is enough. You being happy is enough. You are enough."
Girl, I felt that.
Yo, I felt that too. Even reading this now, I'm feeling it. You know, like
I am a product of immigrant parents, and I'm an immigrant myself, but I was a lot younger when I immigrated to this country. I feel like we need to have an entire episode dedicated to immigration.
Yes,
our experience.
It is such a real thing to feel like you have to be grateful for everything and that you can't complain about things, and how you feel like that you just have to suck it up because your parents
had it worse.
Yeah, or your grandparents or whatever your family member had it worse. But really, like this is where I feel like self-love like totally comes into play. Like you deserve, one, you are totally enough.
You are your own person.
Exactly, yeah. If you feel like you want more and that might not be what your parents want or whatever, like you owe it to yourself to go after that.
I have a quote from Oprah Winfrey.
Yes.
that I would share.
That's my girl.
On self-love. She says, "You are responsible for your life, and if you are sitting around waiting for someone to save you, fix you, help you, you are wasting your time because only you have the power to move your life forward." And so I feel like personally, my parents have definitely leveraged us and built a foundation for my sister and I in this country. And I'm extremely grateful. But at the end of the day, I am my own self, and I need to figure things out or figure my life out on my own with the leverage that they provided.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
for real. It's hard to do.
It's hard, and before we move forward, I wanted to grasp something that you said earlier about the gray area of self-love becoming conceitedness.
Okay, yeah.
And selfishness. So I personally think that it's okay to be selfish. Just a little. Not excessively where it turns or it's tainted into arrogance or excessive pride. Because, fun fact, when I was in college, one of our professors had us write on whether or not it's okay to be selfish. And I had a roommate, bless her heart, that argued that it's important to be selfish. And in my head, I thought, oh, of course you would think that.
You would.
You selfish person. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to write an article where I'm going to argue. I'm going to write an essay where I'm going to argue the importance of not being selfish, of being unselfish. And in writing the paper, I was like, wait a minute, but in order for this to get done, you need to save yourself. You need to be selfish. And, but I still, just out of spite, I was just like still writing this article of something that I didn't end up believing in. And I didn't realize that girl had a point. Yeah. She had a really good point. Yeah. And I didn't realize that until my adult life. Because what do they tell you when you hop on an airplane? Save yourself. Put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on someone else.
That example is what my mom uses all the time. Like there's so many times where I'm like, I talk about all the issues going on in the world, like all the animals being abused, all the children being abused, all the people who don't have jobs, who live in different countries, their government. I mean, even our government. There's just so many things where I talk to my mom about, and she always brings up that example. Like, before you can help others, help yourself. Like, every time I feel like crap, I think about, like, okay, let me take care of myself first before I try to help all these people I want to help. Yeah. So the practices that I've been doing recently for self-love, I've also been taking my dog out on longer walks.
Aww.
Yeah, like I've been listening to audiobooks or podcasts or whatever while I'm walking. And then that is just some me time. That's some time where I feel like I'm getting exercise, plus I'm hanging out with my dog, and I'm also catching up on the latest podcast or the new episode or another chapter of my audiobook. Like, that's just time for me. How about you?
I have... I'm going to reiterate that this pandemic has been extremely hard on me.
Yeah.
And so what I've been doing to have these small rewards is make lists and then cross them off.
Yeah.
So I work for XYZ hours. Okay. And then after I do the dishes. For me, dishes is therapy. Sometimes it's annoying, but for the most part, I see it as therapeutic. So I as I'm doing dishes, I want to listen to a podcast. So I do that. I go outside and I harvest veggies that we have. I have been, in the beginning, my boyfriend Brian and I had a book club that we created on our own. So I needed to make sure I had, those 2 or 3 chapters read before we talked about it on FaceTime. And so that helped a lot. Just having little to-do lists. Sometimes it's something as small as making my bed.
Yeah.
And I have been seeing that practice everywhere.
Yeah.
And it helps.
It does.
It's a little win for the day.
I agree, yeah. And it just shows, like a little win, and then also, like, it's something that you accomplished. Because sometimes people don't make their bed. They don't even think twice about it.
For some people, it's been really difficult just getting out of bed, period.
Yeah, exactly.
So just the whole mentality of getting out, getting your day started, and sort of like putting your bed together so you're not tempted to get back in it, although it's still tempting, that has helped. And I still struggle with practicing self-love, but I do these small things to love myself. Even if they're small. So that's what I've been doing. Grocery shopping. I like just the sake of getting out the house. Even if it's for something essential like grocery shopping, that fulfills my day, believe it or not. I'm excited to see people. I mean, I'm still nervous, but I'm excited to be out. I've been going out on walks too, even though I don't like it. But I've been going.
Like, for me, I'm a homebody, so it is hard for me to go out unless I really need to, like if it's for work or for audition, I don't want to go out. And that's what makes it, I think, a little bit harder for me because I'm such a homebody. I'm trying to get out of that. But even for walks, like, I just want to have the walk. I just want to walk on my own. I don't like walking with other people sometimes just because that is my time to have to myself.
I get it because I like being at home and I prefer to be home too. But because I don't go out for walks as much and I genuinely hate it, I think of grocery shopping as a walk.
That's
because I'm walking up and down the aisles. But that's just my mentality, I guess.
Make it work.
I'm doing my best too. I am hanging on. And really, that's what I tell people. Ask me how I'm doing. I said, I'm hanging in there.
Dude, that is literally my response to almost everyone.
It hasn't been easy. It's been this new journey, and I'm still trying to move forward.
And have that balance.
Have the balance. Ooh, we just got deep.
I know. All right, y'all. That concludes our episode on self-love.
We hope that you all could relate to our experiences and can find the bright side to this pandemic and go hug yourself.
Hang in there.
Hang in there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.